Happy Friday! How's everyone doing today? Welcome to another episode of Self-Love, all things self-love. Today we are already at part 8, focusing on how we think of ourselves and if we believe that we truly do deserve love. So, join Karuna. Joining us today, we have Karuna.
Hey,
Hey! How are you? Happy Friday!
happy Friday. It's always a good day, right? Fridays. Okay, all right. So we are on the 8th episode already. That's amazing. Yeah?
Yeah,
Yeah.
time flies. We're
Yeah.
going to give a quick recap to our audience in just a bit, but to kick it off, hey everyone, we are both certified life coaches, and we've been each week talking about a different topic that's related to self-love. So if you want to watch any of the replays, they're either at lifeisbeautiful.me on Instagram or on Karuna Healing Center on YouTube.
All right. So I think let's just do a quick recap. Is that we started a series on self-love on December 1st, 2021. And the objective of this entire series that we've been doing, we're planning to do 10 episodes, and we're on the 8th one today, is to make love as the foundation of your life. Because we are starting with the belief system that we are energy beings, and we discussed why in some of our videos. And if you can put love in our energy field, just like when you're first in love or first crush or first person you fall in love with, then life becomes so beautiful and everything looks so much better. And even the challenges that you have during the time when you're in love, you're able to tackle those challenges so much easier. And we're just doing a little paradigm shift and saying, you don't have to wait to fall in love with somebody to feel that feeling of being in love. Can you learn to love yourself more and more? And can you fill your energy field with love? So each of the episode is complete by itself, but we did talk in different episodes about what prevents us from loving ourselves. And there's a thread that runs through it. So if you watch all the videos, definitely you'll get a little bit more, but each session is also complete. So what limits you is like not accepting yourself completely, not setting healthy boundaries, limiting beliefs. What else did we talk about, Julie?
Yeah, we talked about so much, and like you said, I love that it overtwines. We
Yeah,
talked about believing in yourself,
yeah.
boundaries, self-talk, self-esteem, all really related to that internal self-love. So feel free to go back and watch any of the specific topics that you feel called to.
Wonderful. And I think today we're going to talk about, do you deserve love? And it's a topic worth reflecting on because I've been reflecting on too, whether do I deserve love and why. So write down in the comments, what do you guys think? Do you think you deserve love? And why do you think you deserve love? And it would be a good exercise to do later on, is not just to come with the first answer that comes to your mind, but maybe ask yourself 4 or 5 times, because as we keep asking those questions over and over again, then actually we get into the root cause, right? Because and why do you think you love yourself, right? So that's our topic today, and it's a topic worth considering, because everything in life will happen for you, and you'll know how much self-love you have when you actually know whether you deserve it or not. Because all of us want love, but deserving, thinking that whether I deserve love or not is a totally different ball game. Right? You can want whatever you want, but internally, if you don't think you deserve it, then manifesting all the things becomes difficult. And in the energy of love, you can manifest any goal that you have, whether it's in a career, personal life, self development. Everything becomes easier because the energy of love is so strong. Right?
Yeah,
So, do you go
and we
ahead?
talked a lot about limiting beliefs too, and not feeling good enough. And I think this also fits in the bucket of not feeling worthy enough or not feeling deserving enough. It's some of the sort of limiting beliefs that we have accumulated throughout our experiences or our lifetime, where we built this belief that potentially we maybe don't deserve love, or we're not quite sure. So today we're going to go really a little bit deeper into, answering that question of why we do deserve love, and what are all the aspects that are, included in that.
Yeah, and I think the way I want to start is, I think one of the reasons why we feel we don't deserve love, which kind of encompasses everything we've been talking about in the earlier episodes, is this idea of perfection, right? Society has helped to create this idea of perfection in the advertisement and the way they market thing and the way we are done in schooling and everything. If everybody gets A grade, then you're a great kid. But if you get a B or a C, then you're not good enough. You're not smart enough, right? So this idea of perfection that society has created, if you get on that bandwagon, and we all will get on it because it's so prevalent and so deep within us, is like, I'm I'm not good enough till I have a great car, or I have a great job, or I have a great relationship, or I have a great family, right? Whatever the reasons are. So these are all the society's way of defining how you should live your life, right? And if you're going to define your life based on what society has created, the idea of perfection, then you're on a road which is not leading to happiness, let me tell you. It's just a road that you're doing to please others because you're living your life based on the expectations of others. And it's an energy that is so addictive because we all get trapped in that energy. And me too. I was trapped in that energy for a long, long time, right? Because I thought I have to fit into everything that everybody else wants around in how I should live my life. And I wanted to live my life according to other people's ideas. So I think that idea of perfectionism that we have created within our subconscious without even consciously realizing it. But I we are both from the Bay Area, and so competitive. Bay Area is so competitive, full of technology companies, and the idea of success over there, and how you're successful only if you have you're earning X amount of money, or you are in this job with these big companies, or you have few properties lying around, or you have X amount of money in the bank, right? Or you have an X position in the company. So there is so much subconsciously subliminal ways of making a person feel that you're not perfect now. If you don't have any of those things, you're not perfect.
Yeah.
Right? Even if you do advertisements, right? You have a beautiful car and you have a beautiful woman standing next to the car. So it's like trying to tell you that this is idea of perfection, right?
Yeah, I think you bring up two good points. One is, first of all, ask yourself the question multiple times so you can keep getting to the root cause. Do I deserve love, and why? Ask again, ask again, ask again. And then another point that I think is really important too is the comparison that we have with society or with the people around us, that kind of we use as a scale to determine whether we do deserve love or whether we are, accomplishing the things we should be accomplishing. And that comparison or those expectations can sometimes get in the way of us feeling like, yeah, we do really deserve love.
Yeah, and I think everybody gets that. This comparison is one of the things which really makes us feel we are not good enough. Yeah, and I'm working with clients over the last so many decades. I can tell you that this is prevalent with people from all walks of life. Whatever educational background, and they are at very high positions in companies, and yet they feel they're not good enough, that they don't deserve everything because they're not good enough, right? So it's a very prevalent energy, and it's everywhere, and everybody gets trapped in that energy sometimes or the other. But the goal is, as long as you're living your life based on the expectations of others and judgments that others have made of you, you're not going to go on the path of happiness, because your soul really wants you to follow what you came here to do, right? So your soul has a blueprint of your life. If you really stop to listen, then you can hear the inner calling of what you actually want to do. But you don't go by that because you're thinking, no, 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 I have not been successful yet. I still need to have X amount of money before I can retire and do what I want to do. Right? Or I'm still not there. I need to pay my bills and I need to do this and I need to do that till I'm successful. And then when I'm successful and I've got all the fame and recognition that I want, then maybe I can listen to my soul.
Yeah.
Right? And that, I think, is a rat race, which is like you're going to spin yourself in a wheel, because it doesn't matter how much you earn and how many things you get, the belief system within you will keep telling you you're not good enough. You don't deserve love,
Yeah. And
whether
I
it's love
think,
of life.
and another example too is, sometimes you feel like, oh, I'm deserving of love once I get this promotion, once I get this thing. And then you get the thing and you realize, oh wait, that's not really the core root of why I didn't feel that I deserved love or that I, felt like I was good enough. So being able to, while you're here in the present, in the now, digging deeper into, like you said, what you really desire, what you really want, so that you're not just going after things thinking you're just going to make yourself feel more worthy, and realizing that after, doing those things, it actually really didn't change very much.
Yeah, and that's the thing. We don't stop and pause to reflect on what we are doing. We are in autopilot mode, so we don't really stop to pause and see. I asked for this promotion and I got it. Am I happier? Right? Maybe there's a temporary happiness on the day you got your promotion, but now you have greater responsibilities, maybe, and you have more things to do, and you're not going to stop and pause and think, did I really deserve this?
Yeah.
I remember when I had my first kid, and then I was given a promotion, and I actually refused it because I didn't want the additional responsibility because I already had a kid now, and I needed to focus on her. So, yeah, luckily something within me drove me to say a no, right? But I know a lot of people wouldn't have done that. And then it would be so difficult trying to manage, balance different aspects of your life. So we need to all look within ourselves and see what is perfection. Have we defined perfection in our mind? And if it's not defined correctly, then you need to take a moment and reflect on it and figure out what is a good life for you.
I
Because then you will feel you deserve more.
Yeah, and I can really relate to that, Karuna, because
Mhm.
I always saw myself as a perfectionist, and I associated as a perfectionist. And on one hand, I had a lot of pride, having that title, but then I also realized that while it came with many benefits of, for example, being paying attention to detail, or spending a lot of effort in certain things that I was passionate about, that part was helpful, but other parts it was really slowing me down or making me judge myself of, oh, this isn't worthy enough. So, a tool or a trick that I sort of used was to transform the word perfectionism to excellence. I still want to show up in the world, with this excellence mindset of I'm giving my 100% and I'm paying attention to the details without the pressure of it has to be, the expectation of it has to turn out this exact specific way. So, I would love to have our audience kind of think about how you can change certain beliefs like perfectionism into a different word that still aligns with you, but that isn't, doesn't hold this negative energy in it that forces you to just like feel that you're not worthy enough or deserving enough to receive the love.
Yeah, very true. And I think also, we talked about the power of words in one of our episodes, right? How words affect you. So when you're using the word perfectionism, then you're never going to reach it because there is no perfectionism. If you look at nature, everything is so beautiful, like an apple tree. Not all apples are alike, right? I'm not talking of those hybrid trees that they are developing, but they're developing apples all looking alike. But regularly, if you look at wild apples and all, wild fruits growing in the thing, it's not alike because everything is unique and everything is beautiful. And really, each one of us is so different from everybody else. You can look at your fingerprints. Everybody's fingerprint is different, right? Doesn't that give you an idea that you're unique? So where is the idea of perfection when everybody's different, right? So it's basically trying to go with the flow of life and doing your very best. And in the process of doing your best, you want to when you're doing your best, you're trying to go towards excellence, right? Within yourself, not in comparison to anybody else. But within yourself, you want to do your very best. And since you're not a computer, your very best is going to differ from day to day.
Yeah.
So allowing that factor to also come in and know that you don't have to be doing, again, you have to redefine doing the best, what it means. In the current circumstances and the current day today, this was the best I could do. And till later on, you may reflect back and say, no, I could have done better. But no, at that moment, that was the best you knew how to do. So if you can learn that comes to self-acceptance. Accept that that was your best on that day, even if it doesn't meet your idea within your brain that this was not my best performance, right? But that was the best you could do that day because there are so many forces outside of you that also determine the results.
Yeah.
And this is, of course, expanding into other realms, right? Which I don't think we want to go deep into that. But all I mean to say is the results are not in your hand, but the process is in your hand, right? So if you're following the process and you did your very best by following your process, then you've done the best. It doesn't matter whether you got the result you expected or not, because there are other forces that determine whether you get the result or not, which loosely we can call as divine timing. Right? Sometimes the timing is not right for you. So even if you do everything right, you may still not get the result because you are also affected by other forces going on. You're also affected by all your other lifetimes, right? For those who believe in reincarnation. So there is a lot that goes on. that affects your energy,
And
right?
for me, I see that as setting your intention and
Hmm.
very compassionate with yourself throughout the entire process. And
Yeah,
like we've been talking about in many of our episodes, building that awareness muscle and reflection muscle of why am I feeling this? What am I telling myself? And what's really going on? So I can dig a little deeper to figure out where are some of these beliefs coming from.
yeah, yeah. That's why it requires time to slow down. We need to slow down sometimes. We are running too much. Even if you take 5 minutes a day to slow down. Because I was reading something somewhere, and I still remember, I don't have the exact words, that everything comes out of silence. Even your words come out of silence. So everything, so in the silence, there is a lot of creativity, because out of which births everything. So can you go back to the silent then? That's what meditation is also about, right? Learning to be silent for a while. When you are very silent, when you're very still, you can hear your inner calling and what your heart really wants to do. But if you're just rushing through life, you're not going to know that. Or your mind is going to rationalize it and put it away. Right? So it's like your heart wants to just rest today, but your mind is going, no, 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 you have these 15 tasks to do today. You can't rest. Right? But maybe you could listen to your heart and say, okay, maybe I'll rest for half an hour today. Right? If not all resting for a few hours. So again, perfectionism, I think, is something we need to talk and to ourselves about. What are we really looking for in life, and why do you think you're not good enough and you don't deserve the love, whether it's love from a person or it's whether it's just love of life, right? I think that's more important, just feeling the love of life, right? Then you're going to always keep shortchanging yourself because you always think there's lack in your life. I'm not good enough yet. I'm not good enough yet. I'm not good enough yet. Right? And people wait that, right? When I retire, I'm going to do this, 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 this. And I'm like, why do you have to wait to retire to do this, this, this? Can you not incorporate some of this in your current lifestyle now? And who knows whether you're going to retire or not? Because we don't know our lifespan,
Yeah.
right? And we don't know what our health is going to be like when you retire, right? So you want to go around and see the world when you retire, but maybe you're not fit enough to retire, go around the world. So why wait, right? So I think perfectionism is one of the things. And the other thing I want to bring up is being human is a messy affair. This earth, I look at it as a school, and it's not one of the easiest schools to be in. Why? Because in this school we have emotions, and we cannot rationalize emotions, and emotions are messy, right? So we go through a spectrum of emotions during the day or during the week, right from joyful and happy emotions, feeling a lot of physical pleasures and fun and excitement, to all the other emotions of physical pain and sickness and anger and frustration. So we are constantly oscillating between positive, negative emotions all the time. And since you cannot rationalize emotions, we try to be rational beings, but we are not, right? So being this journey of life is pretty messy. And we're going to fall many times. We're going to trip. We're going to hurt others. We're going to hurt ourselves, right? So acknowledge that that's the flow of life. You don't have to beat yourself up if you hurt yourself or you hurt somebody else. Okay, it happened because I didn't know better that time. And I said a few things which I shouldn't have said, or I feel now I shouldn't have said, but it happened. Right? So go forward from there and see what can you do? What did you learn from there? Right? So
Yeah.
again, emotions you cannot rationalize.
Yeah. Like for me, I associate being a perfectionist with analyzing everything and also the mental body of understanding everything and logically trying to find solutions and answers. But like you said, sometimes emotions can be rationalized, and it's also okay to feel a certain way and to have no idea why and to have no reason to figure out why either, which is something that really did not come natural to me in the very beginning.
Yeah, and because emotions cannot rationalize, you really don't know what emotions you're going to feel. Right? You can anticipate in your mind thinking that I'm going to feel great when I get that car. But who knows, on the day when you go to buy a car, there's something else going on in your life and you still don't feel happy getting the car. Right? So you really don't know, because that's why this is a really tough school. It's a messy school, according to me. Right? And it doesn't matter what you've achieved in your life, what level of education you have, each and every human is going through positive, negative emotions. Right? So really don't compare yourself with anybody else, because everybody is wearing mask, right? Because everybody's hiding their vulnerable sides, everybody's hiding their negative emotions, right? So you don't really know. Because I have these clients who say, I feel I'm not good enough. I haven't achieved what I need to achieve because my friends are doing so much better in life, right? I just had a client a few days back, and she was talking to me about that. And start comparing. You don't know what's going on in your friend's life, right? Because I work with people in all spectrum of responsibilities in the company, right? Right from vice president and CEO down to people who are doing the groundwork, right? Everybody's having the same. There are clients who come who's I knew the senior VP I was working with, and she was saying, Karuna, everybody thinks I'm a very confident, successful person, but inside me, I don't feel that. I don't feel fulfilled. I don't feel happy, right? So don't go by people's outer success as you perceive it. Everybody's on the same journey. Everybody's having things that they have to deal with. This is a school. We are here for learning. Okay. So don't forget that.
Yeah,
So don't compare yourself.
and sometimes someone might feel more confident at home or in their relationship and less confident at work, or vice
Yeah.
versa. There's just so
Mm-hmm.
many different mix and matches. And even depending on the situation, the emotions can get messy, or, you know, just like you said, you can try and rationalize it and understand it, but it also, that level of human is just that compassion of accepting that it is what it is. And I'm really curious for anyone who's watching live right now or even in the replay. I'd love to just have all these answers of why you think you deserve self-love, and just like, let's go deeper in this topic to see just all the possible outcomes of why we as human beings, even in the first place, really do deserve love.
And why we have to think so much, right? Look at a child when it's born. It just knows it deserves love. It doesn't know about its looks or his personality or anything, but just knows that it's going to get love from his parents or whoever is a caregiver, right? Because it doesn't have all the societal pressures around the child, right? And then somehow when we grow up, we start aligning to all the societal pressures and judgments and expectations. And then we start thinking we are not good enough after that, right? So really, it's a journey. The way I look at it, the journey is from the mind to the heart, right? So if you're going to live your life from the mind is connected to the ego, and ego only knows it's a slave master. It's only going to keep pushing you. Oh no, you're not good enough. No, 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 you still have to do this. No, 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 these are 15 tasks you have to do. That's the mind, right? It's a taskmaster. So if you're going to live your life from the mind, you're going to have a really tough life. And unfortunately, that's how our schooling system is. It tries to make us think with the mind all the time, right? And then we get used to thinking with the mind. We forget to ask how I'm feeling, right? So the journey is about the heart, because the heart is the seat of compassion, like you talked about a minute ago. Learning to be compassionate and kind to yourself. Where does that compassion come from? It comes from your heart, not from your mind. Okay, mind doesn't even know what love is. It can write essays on love, and it can write books on love, but it doesn't know what love is. Only the heart knows what love is, right? So if we can move our life away from the mind a little bit, create a better balance and live from a heart also, you will see that you have more love for yourself then. Because you'll understand that, you know what, it's okay to be sad. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to get frustrated at times. It's okay, because the heart is so compassionate and kind. It'll let you know that it's okay. It's okay to have pain. It's okay to have physical issues. And you're still beautiful. You're still lovable, right? And you deserve every kind of abundance that you can think of,
Yeah.
right? Irrespective of what the mind is saying,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, in our following episodes, I'd love to continue on that abundance side, the passion side, the things that you really bring out when you do feel you deserve love, and how you really start to excel in your life when you invite those emotions into your life. And I really do love what you said about the heart, because oftentimes, especially for me, considering I use a lot of times my mental body, or that side, is like going back into the intuition of what you're feeling and what you're if you're passionate about what you're doing, so that you can bring in more of that self-love.
Yeah, yeah. And that's a journey for all of us, because we need to slow down if we have to listen to our heart, right? With the mind, we can speed up as much as we want, right? Because the mind loves speeding up. No, 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 now get up, do this. No, get up, do this. It loves to make you do things all the time. But the heart, you have to slow down to listen to the heart, right? And that's where you will know your intuition. That's where you will know your soul's calling. What are you here for?
Yeah.
right? What is it that you really want to do in your life, right? And maybe you buried those voice deep within you, so you can't even hear it. But as you learn to still yourself more and more, as you learn to set proper boundaries, right? Very important, because that's the way you will still yourself, is when you have enough boundaries where you can take time out for yourself from your busy schedule, and when you can reflect on yourself, right? Then you might really realize, you know what, this is what I really want from my life.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
the time you know.
We have a comment that says being versus doing, which I think it really is the essential piece of being in the present, the power of the now, and then, not just constantly being on the move, but being able to know why you're doing each thing that you're doing.
Yeah, and being also means you're a being of divine ancestors, right? So if you just allow yourself to be in the moment and just give up this idea of doing, doing, doing all the time, right? We've been programmed that if you're sitting quietly or not doing anything, you're wasting your time. You're being lazy, right? Uh, I mean, I have heard everybody say that. Even my kids used to say that. I can't be lazy. I have so many things to do. But they don't realize the power of creativity lies in the silence, in being still sometimes. It's just like the trees outside in the fall season, right? Winter going on over here in the US. Fall seasons, the trees are barren. They look barren as if they're not doing anything. But internally, they're doing so much work, because come spring, thousands of leaves come up. How does it suddenly bring so much leaves? It has to do prep work, right? So outwardly, it is stop doing outward actions, but inwardly, it is doing a lot of work. So that's what happens when you quieten down. There's a lot of change that can happen within you.
Yeah.
And so you can learn to be more in the being state. Just allow yourself to be quiet. Allow yourself to be still. Just for a moment, cut away from all the different tasks that you do in your life and say, you know what? I deserve 5 minutes of quiet time for myself. It's again coming back to deserving. The more love you feel you deserve, the more you will take care of yourself, the more you nurture yourself, the more you nourish yourself. Right? So just by looking at your outer life, you will come to know whether subconsciously you feel you deserve love or not.
Yeah.
Because if you're spending all your time doing, 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 whether it's doing for others or doing chores that you need to do, then you realize that you're not being in touch with yourself. Yeah? That means you're not thinking you deserve time to be just relaxing and being a beach whale sometimes. I love being a beach whale sometimes. It's just people may think I'm being lazy, but I really don't care what people think. My body sometimes just wants me to quieten down totally, right? So I just want to relax and chill out. So I don't want to do anything, right? So that's important. We need to incorporate some of time in the day where we just want to listen to our heart and say, you know what, my heart just wants to sit quietly and have a cup of tea, or I just want to sit and listen to my music, or I want to just sit and reflect on things, or I want to watch the waves, or watch the birds. Take that time out, because that's the time you're recharging your batteries. That's the time you're giving love to yourself. Right? And the more love energy you have within yourself, the more you're going to feel empowered in life, because that energy is so beautiful. Can't even describe it with the mind, because the mind doesn't even understand love. Right? But for all of you who have experienced love, you know what it feels like. Such a beautiful sense feeling inside of you. Right? So yeah, bring that feeling more. Yeah, make an affirmation. I deserve the best. I deserve to be loved because I am lovable. Right? Despite my weaknesses, I'm still lovable, because every other human being is also having weaknesses. Right? So people are looking for perfect relationships. But again, you have to redefine perfection there. Because
Yeah.
if you have love, love can conquer all challenges in a relationship. The love has to be there, right? So love heals, they say. This is true. It will heal all kinds of things that are going on in a relationship.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Let's continue this conversation next week at our normal time, and continue with the passion and bringing more of that abundance, inviting that into our lives.
Yeah. So next Wednesday, 12 noon Pacific Standard Time, we will continue, right? So guys, the homework today is to redefine perfectionism in your life, and not put a pedestal on which you have to reach before you can find that you're lovable and you deserve love. Okay. So take some time, reflect, quieten down, and define what is success for you in your life, right? And why do you deserve love? And we both love all of you. So thank you very much for being here with us.
Yeah, thank you so much. Feel free to share your insights and your comments in the comments. And we'll see you guys next week.
All right.
Thanks, Karuna. See you.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.